Hello everyone, my name is Nick Infernus and welcome back to another video. Fun fact, in a previous take of this video I accidentally said Canis. Yeah, that's not my name anymore, so deleted. So yesterday was a fun event for the Transformers fan base because there were reveals. There was a live stream by the Transformers team where they revealed brand new figures. I unfortunately missed the live stream because of my summer classes, but I was able to get pictures afterwards and I would like to share it with you. So with that said, I forgot to share the fucking screen. There we go. Yes, the perks of doing this shit live, unlisted. Yes, these are June 23rd Transformers figure reveals, and the slideshow is by me. So starting with the red line, this is the line that refused to die. This is the Transformers line that's trying the most to mimic the Marvel Legends and Star Wars Black Series lines, and also the G.I. Joe Classified series and all that. I have a few Marvel Legends figures, and from what I've heard, these things are worse than those. I mean, they're pretty good quality, the stuff I have, and I am willing to pick up at least one red figure to see what it's like, but I have no doubt that's probably going to be worse than what I have already. So, starting with Red Thundercracker. Of course they did this. Of course, they repainted their Starscream into a Thundercracker, and I'm not getting any of them. Even if they make a Skywarp, I'm still not getting it. Excuse me. The thing with the red Starscream is that it was very proportionally bloated. It looks very puffy, and that head especially is very wrong. And I get it, usually when they make Starscream, it gets repainted into other Seekers, but this is the one instance where it's like, this is the biggest cash grab that you could do, especially with a line that no one really likes. And that'll bring us to Prime Megatron, which this actually doesn't look too bad. Then again, interestingly, the Prime designs are usually the ones that they get right because their designs are complex enough to where having transformations is kind of confusing. Because like RC and Knockout look pretty good, and Knockout is the one figure from this line that I am willing to get if I can find him. But Megatron here looks alright, though you can definitely see evidence of the shitty rubber plastic that they're using because the blade is warped in this picture. Like, really, guys? You couldn't straighten the blade out for the product photography? And that'll bring us to Optimus Prime, who, again, looks alright. He comes with a Matrix. Of course he fucking does. How many Matrixes have we gotten in, like, the past 3 years? Could start with Earthrise Optimus, and next thing you know, every single figure that is associated with the Matrix comes with the Matrix. Yeah, not much to say here. I'm not really that big on the red line. The figures look fine, but other than that, I've heard too many bad things about them to where I don't really feel comfortable picking any of them up. Okay. Now on to the month Shattered Glass reveal. Last month we got Blaster. Month before we got Ultra Magnus or Skullface at that live stream. And this time they gave us Slicer, a repaint of Wheeljack. Now don't get me wrong, I really like the Earthrise Wheeljack, but it's not a mold that I see myself getting multiple of. I mean, admittedly, this color shift does look cool. This color scheme, I'm sorry. Sorry, I was thinking of there was a figure. It was either of Cliffjumper or Downshift from the Unicron trilogy that apparently this is based on, and that's a neat homage, but probably not one that I'd get because I'm not really all that familiar with the Unicron trilogy. Comes with an exosuit, a red and pink repaint of Earthrise Fast Track, which they said in the live stream you can use as a spear for your Legacy Gen Selects Black Zarak if you even have one of those. So I mean, this looks cool. As a whole, it's like the mirror universe. But I'm content with just the Megatron. I do have the Shattered Glass Megatron, and that's all I really need from this line. Now onto the good stuff. The Velocitron Collection. Now, this is the line that I was really hoping they'd reveal in this live stream, and they did. Of course, a lot of the figures were already stolen and reviewed at this point, but there were a few surprises. Now, normally I'd show this in the order that they were revealed in, But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to treat this like a ranking. Yeah, I know you guys never get sick of those. And I'm going to show the order of likeliness that I'll pick these up. So like the least likely that I'm going to pick it up is going to be at the very bottom. Most likely is going to be at the top. You get the idea. So in last place is Voyager class Road Hauler. I'll pass. This is an obvious repaint of the Earthrise grapple with a climax face and the fixed pegs from the Kingdom Inferno. You can see there the pegs are much shorter than the ones that they used for the original grapple. So thankfully, these won't break like on the Inferno. But speaking of the Inferno, I'm fine with just that. This isn't a mold that I would want multiple figures of. It's an alright mold for what it is. Gets the job done in both modes and with the transformation. But I'm fine with just the one. If you're going to get this mold, I'd recommend either getting the Inferno or the Artfire, since their transformation is generally more interesting. Right. Then we have Deluxe Class Road Rocket. I almost said Roadrunner. Repaint of the Legacy Prime RC, and while that is a good figure, it's not my favorite. Transformation's a bit fiddly, especially with the front, and you have to transform it in a specific way to where the side panels here sit flush and don't pop open. Looks good. Head looks neat. Nice that they're actually painting the Energon weapon. And here, since she has a specific gender of this character, but since this is more of a ninja aesthetic, this actually fits more as like a big shuriken. Or like the thing that Yuffie used in Kingdom Hearts 2 during the Hades Cup. Right. Now, on to Burnout. Yeah, Deluxe Burnout. This is a repaint of Skids, Legacy Skids. While I love that mold, it's not really something that I want multiple figures of. Again, like, don't get me wrong, I love Legacy Skids, but I'm content with just the Skids. Head looks pretty neat, though. Certainly does a better job of hiding the head plate. And the weapons, for the most part, are the same. That's unfortunate. Would have been cool to see this Axe Blaster done in maybe like a different color, like maybe a smoky gray or a red. For what it is, looks nice, but I'm fine. Clampdown. Deluxe Clampdown. About damn time y'all revealed this. We've known about this for at least 1 or 2 years. I don't know how long we've known about this, but something that we've known about for a long Kingdom Red Alert from the looks of it, because it's got the shorter ears and a light bar. And what this looks good. This is probably the one that I'm most likely to pick up because I actually really love the Siege Sideswipe mold. It's a very fun mold. Has a fun... But this is probably the one figure in the pass category that I am the most likely to pick up, even though for the time being it is still pass. And now we're moving on to the two maybes, starting with IDW Universe Blur. This is the Studio Series 86 Blur with a design based on that of his design in the IDW comics. And for what this looks pretty good. I might actually get this to replace my Studio Series Blur, since admittedly that mold's a bit weird looking. And this does look cooler. Arm kibble's probably a lot bigger, but that's something. And there's a lot of retooling on this guy. There was obviously a lot more effort that went to this one than with the Shattered Glass version, where all that changed was the head and the color scheme. This thing's got the head, the color scheme, the shoulders, the crotch, the arm kibble things. Lots of changes. Yeah, I just think this looks pretty cool. And then there is Rid Universe Scourge, the better Rid. Man, I'm really regretting picking up the Laser Prime first, because this looks really cool. I mean, of course, I already knew about this and what it looked like, but man, the Nemesis Prime color scheme fits this mold well. That's probably the only reason why I'd get this mold now, is because this would probably be a great stand-in for Nemesis Prime. Even though, it's not him, but still. I really do think that the red complements the design pretty well. Yeah. Now on to the two figures that are like, yeah, I'm absolutely buying those. Starting with Deluxe Cosmos. Yeah, that's him. That's what he's supposed to look like. This certainly looks a lot better than the Titans Return Legends version. Well, then again, that's a Legend class figure, so there are limitations. But this definitely looks better. I mean, yeah, the arms are hollow, but like, come on, it's a Deluxe. What are you gonna do? And he comes with a checker flag. That's really cute. And the UFO mode, I looked up pictures. Yeah, that's what he's supposed to look like. Yeah, definitely picking this one up if I can hunt him down. Since this is one of the 2 unique molds in this Velocitron collection, I imagine that this one and the next one are probably going to sell out pretty quickly. But I'm still looking forward to picking it up. And speaking of the other unique mold, Cybertron Universe Override. Hell to the fuck yes. Put this thing in my collection. This thing looks amazing. Robot mode looks sick. Vehicle mode looks awesome. That's interesting. I'm sure that's probably part of the design. But this is just a really cool looking mold. And it's a Voyager, but it's like the size of the 86 Hot Rod, which is already like the deluxe size. So I'm sure this will have to do something to compensate for that large price point. But overall, this whole Velocitron set looks pretty cool. Not entirely sure why Scourge and Roadhauler are part of it, though I do hear that, Roadhauler's there for preventing crashes, and Scourge is the one guy who's making sure the Decepticons win the race. So I guess in a way I am kind of sure why, but I don't know. They just seem a little bit out of place. But overall, this was a really good live stream for reveals. I mean, Shattered Glass and Red were kind of underwhelming, but the Velocitron set was certainly fun to discover, even if we already knew about all of them. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Short video, something that I can put out before work. If you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. I'm not going to bore you with all the generic stuff, and I'll see you next time. Take care, and Godspeed.